What's up, everybody? I'm Great Britton, and I'm rocking with 24/7 Magazine, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, bye. So I've been in Atlanta for like 10 years. I tell people I'm from New York, but I'm kind of really not. I was born in Huntsville, Alabama, but I love New York so much, so I kind of, I grew up there as well. So I've been in the industry for like 15 years. I started off as interviewing artists on red carpets, word of mouth TV. Shout out to them. They gave me an opportunity to just kind of do my thing. I was chilling one day. I was working at a call center, and the guy was like, "Yo, we love your energy, and I want you to work the BT Awards red carpet." So I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that's cool, whatever." But I'm thinking like, everybody's telling everybody that there's somebody in Atlanta. So I'm kind of like, "Yeah, right. You don't know nothing about no BT Awards, or whatever." So I actually went to where he told me to come, and it was the BT Awards. I was on the red carpet, and hand me the mic, and they was like, "You on? Let's do this." So I'm like, "Oh shit!" So first interview was Big Country Kane, but I called him. No, it was Young Dro, but I called him Big Country Kane. When he was coming up, I was like, trying to act like I know what I was doing and stuff. So I'm like, "Yo, Big Country Kane in the building," and he was like, "Nigga, I'm Young Dro. You don't see this big ass chain?" And that was just like the start of my whole career. Everybody was laughing, and it was crazy, but it was just like an experience, just a dream that I've always had to kind of do this, and I was doing it, and I didn't even realize it at that moment. And from then on, I just kind of just kept interviewing artists and working with them, and they decided to kind of do their own thing. They was like, "All right, well, we've been doing this for a year, and it's not really working. We love you and everything, but we kind of want to go have kids." And so I was just kind of like, "Okay, where do I go from there?" So I kind of just at where I'm at now.
Okay, so a little bit about your background and growing up. What was childhood like for you?
Oh man, my father was in the military, so I experienced the military life and traveled a lot. We lived in Germany, Huntsville, New York, Tennessee. It's five of us all together. I got one sister, so just growing up, I was always the like the middle child. I always was the one that was like, let's make something out of everything. Let's turn this living room into a castle, or let's set up these radios, and I would basically act like I'm interviewing artists. So I would use their interludes, and I would act like for example, I would be talking to Lil Kim, but I'm really talking to her interlude. So my brothers and sisters would be like, "What are you doing?" Like, and I was really into it. And when the final product came out, it would be like, "Wow, that sounds like a real live interview. Like he was really talking to her." But just growing up, it was kind of like, I'm gonna be somebody. Like I'm gonna make a name for my family. So my last name is Britton. So I turned that into the United Kingdom of Great Britain. That's the show I'm working on, and Great Britain represents, I kind of played on words, but really it stands for my family. Like I'm gonna be the Great Britain for my entire family, and I'm gonna, live this dream and be successful, so I can be able to come back and take care of them. And I always just wanted to do something for my grandmother and my mother and my siblings. So it's kind of like I have to do this, and it was when you have five kids, it was kind of tough because we didn't exactly get what we wanted, but we got what we needed as far as going to school, and my mother and father trying to do as best as they could do. So it's just like any other kid living in the projects, fighting brothers and sisters daily, um, getting on punishment, being in the house and getting into trouble in school. I used to love sugar, so I used to have like sugar in my pocket and take it to school or whatever. And my teacher called my mom, and she was kind of like, "What's going on? Cause are they eating? Cause he has sugar in his pocket and he's eating it. So do we need to help?" And I got my ass whooped. And my mom was like, "What is wrong with you? Like, why do you have sugar? We have food in the house." And I just was addicted to sugar, so I would have like sugar all over my desk and seat and floor. It was crazy, but I had a good childhood. Now it's just like, I'm gonna come back for y'all. I'm gonna make sure that I can take care of my family, and get this thing popping for us.
Right. You said you spent some time in New York and now you're in Atlanta. What's the major difference between the two cities?
Uh, New York is just so expensive, man. It was like I lived with my grandmother in the projects, which was cool. When I got a adult, I tried to live on my own, and it just was way too expensive. It was like $5,000 for a one bedroom piece of nothing, and I could do that for. I tried to do it for a month, and I was out of there. But I think Atlanta's growing. It's like a baby New York to me. Everybody's in the industry. Everybody's trying to do something. New York's pretty much the same, but it's just more of a fast pace. And I don't know, like I love New York, but I don't really like to go after my grandmother passed away. It's kind of like that took the life from New York for me. But Atlanta is home for me now because it's always something here to do. It's something going on. Somebody doing something. Um, it's a really dope place to be, and it's growing. New York is New York. That's the Big Apple, but Atlanta is definitely growing to be like the Black Hollywood now. So I love it. I love Atlanta now.
Right. So you say you did some work with Lil Kim and Tiffany Foxx?
Yeah, so it's crazy because I was obsessed with Little Kim as a kid, and I had got to a place where somebody gave me their fake ID, and I would go to her clubs, and I would go whenever she was hosting an event or something. I would some kind of way manage to get into the clubs and go see her and take 1,000 pictures. I used to get cussed out by her security, like, all right, that's enough pictures. And I used to just love her, so I used to just follow her and go to whatever venue she's doing. I would be there, and I guess I just became a familiar face. And what I did was I knew that she had an artist that was coming out, Tiffany Foxx. Tiffany Foxx, based in St. Louis, and she was in Atlanta at the time, so she was having a mixtape that just released. So I was thinking, like, how can I kind of work with Little Kim or something? So I hit up Kim's manager, and I was like, Tiffany Foxx's her mixtape is coming out, so I kind of want to come down there. They was in Charlotte, and I want to come to Charlotte and pass out her CDs or whatever. So they was like, okay. So I just was around Atlanta passing out her CDs because I just wanted Kim to kind of notice me in a different light than just the kid that's in a club always like being a groupie and taking pictures and kind of being stalkerish. But so I was passing out CDs. I got in touch with Tiffany Foxx's personal assistant, and I noticed how she was moving a little bit. So I was just like, I want to just help you. So I went in and I helped her a little bit. She was having a mixtape release party that night, and I passed out CDs. I was doing videos and on Twitter, and the girl was like, okay, so you're dope. So I'm gonna give you Tiffany's password, and I want you to promote her stuff on Twitter. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I'm like promoting on Twitter and doing all this stuff and passing out CDs at the clubs and stuff. So to make a long story short, Tiffany had the mixtape party, and I did all this promoting and stuff, and come to find out, she didn't tell Tiffany that I was the one doing it. She was acting like she was doing it. So they found out when I got there that night. I got to the club, and I'm like, okay, so all that's done. I got into VIP, and I'm like, can I get in? I did all this work. And then her assistant was just kind of like, I don't know, I can't, it's nothing I can do right now. So basically, like, I don't know you after I done did all this work or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool, that's fine. So I went to Charlotte. I caught the bus to Charlotte, and Kim was down there. So I went to the club where they were at, and passing out CDs and stuff. And Kim was just kind of like looking at me like, this dude just be everywhere. What do you do? And I'm like, I'm just promoting for Tiffany. And we all laughed about it. And Tiffany found out that it was me that was doing all the promoting and stuff. And I ended up getting the personal assistant fired, and then she hired me. So she was like, you doing all this work, you might as well just be my assistant since she got you doing all this stuff. So I became cool, and next thing you know, I'm on tour with Kim and Tiffany, and it was just like, man, I was dreaming to be around these people, and now I'm like headed to Kim's baby shower, and just it's like now it's like anything you want to do, you can do it, because I just made up my mind that I want to be around them, I want to be associated with them, And now, like, I can call Kim now and be like, you know, what's up? Like, 2 weeks ago, they was doing a Bad Boy tour, and it was crazy because I'm in a car with her on the way to the concert, and I'm like looking at her like, they're like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, this is crazy. Like, you're going to the Bad Boy concert, you're about to go and perform, and I'm sitting next to you talking to you right now, and it's just like amazing to see how you can do whatever you want to do. Like, nobody can't stop me from doing anything. Just because anything that I always wanted to do, I do it. So that's like my family now, and I was personal assistant for both of them, really, just whatever they needed me to do. And I got to the point where it's like, okay, I did that for like a year, and I realized, like, you know, I'm not really a personal assistant. Like, I don't want to walk around and hold your purse, or, you know, when we get to the hotel, set up your shoes, and we around all these people, and you got to be quiet. You can't really, you got to be a personal assistant. You got to focus on the artist. And I'm trying to figure out, you know, my next move. And they're like, no, Terrence, you need to take my stuff to the hotel. Where's my lip gloss at? And I'm like, what? I got to the point where I'm like, you know, I need an assistant. You know what I'm saying? So I just realized that I didn't want to be a personal assistant, but it was a great experience, and just being able to travel and meet people and stuff. And they realized that I'm not really a personal assistant either. I'm more of a go-getter. You know, I did that for the experience, and now I'm working on my own TV show. It's called the United Kingdom of Great Britain show, and it's about, you know, the platform of helping people behind the scenes. So instead of me interviewing Beyonce, I want to interview the people behind Beyonce, the hairstylists, the makeup artists, the backup dancers, the backup singers. I think it's important for the world to kind of see that it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of effort, and the people that's behind these people, if it wasn't for them, it would not be a mainstream artist. And nobody ever kind of shows that light of the people behind the mainstream. So I kind of want to do that a little bit.
So you said that you want to give the behind the scenes more chance to tell their story. If you weren't behind the scenes, would that have been something that you would have wanted to expose?
Absolutely not. I think that since I was behind the scene and I played the role as a personal assistant, I see how much effort, and, you know, it's a lot to be a personal assistant. You basically have to live someone else's life. You have to be on point, and you have to be ready to do whatever that artist needs to do at that time, and you always got to do that. So for me to actually be in that position, I see that it's a lot of work, and I kind of want to showcase that, because people just think, you know, personal assistants just kind of walk with the artist and they show up together, and, you know, they're just there. But I mean, it takes a lot of dedication and hard work. So I kind of want to showcase that, the people that's behind the main.
So what's your project name?
The name of my show is the United Kingdom of Great Britain. It's kind of like playing on words, but my last name is Britton, Britton. But the United Kingdom of Great Britain show is basically me uniting a lot of different aspects of the entertainment industry. It's interviewing mainstream artists. It's so many up and coming Facebook or social media comedians that's coming up. I see so many skits daily, so I kind of want to showcase the people that's behind these skits. So I kind of talk to them, interview them, and how did you come up with the skit? Who are you? The people that's behind all these silly characters online. I interview them, interview the mainstream people, and then I also want to interview the unsigned artists. Instead of having a mainstream artist, I want to showcase the unsigned people that's coming up, and give them a little light, because they don't really have that platform anymore for people that's trying to get on. So
When should we expect for your project to come out?
I'm having a premiere party spring of 2017. I'm having a premiere party in LA, one in Atlanta, and one in New York. So definitely the premiere is going to be then. I would say by summer it's going to be picked up by, I'm shooting for maybe like Tidal or Revolt TV, or even do like Netflix or Hulu, like, because cable is not in no more. So I feel like if I go to the streaming services, I have a better chance for them to pick it up and kind of go from there.
Okay, and your last question, can you leave our viewers your contact information?
Yes, so on Twitter and Instagram, my name is One Great Britain. So it's the number one, and it's Great Britain, Britton. And on Facebook, my name is Terrence Britton. And I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm coming to see y'all real soon on the TV screen, cable, whatever streaming services. I'm gonna be there real soon.